Stars. For generations, we've looked up at them, charting their courses, dreaming of what lies beyond. We built monuments to them, not of stone, but of steel and glass, reaching for the heavens. Observatories, our windows to the universe. We thought we were just looking. We never imagined something might be looking back. Tonight, the sky was clear, the cosmos a familiar, comforting tapestry. At the Mauna Kea Observatory, Dr. Aris Thorne was finishing his shift. Just another night cataloging distant galaxies, another step in humanity's slow, steady crawl toward understanding. The data streamed in, predictable, rhythmic, until it wasn't. Power first, a flicker, then darkness. The vast dome plunged into a sudden, disorienting silence. Anomaly. A system reboot, perhaps. Then, the emergency lights kicked on, bathing the control room in a pulsing, hellish red. Alarms blared, a cacophony of urgent, electronic screams. Aris spun around, his heart pounding against his ribs. The main console was flashing, overridden by a Priority 1 alert. His breath hitched. It was the Deep Space Proximity Sensor, an array designed to detect near-Earth objects. It had never triggered a full-scale alert before. He scrambled to his station, the red light casting long, dancing shadows across the room. His face, illuminated by the screen, was a mask of confusion. His fingers flew across the keyboard, bypassing secondary protocols, trying to get a visual. What could it be? A rogue asteroid. A misidentified satellite cluster. The feed loaded. His confusion evaporated, replaced by a cold, creeping dread that coiled in his gut. His eyes widened, his jaw went slack. The blood drained from his face, leaving him pale as a ghost under the crimson glow. It was a sight so impossible, so fundamentally wrong, that his mind struggled to process it. There was Earth, our beautiful, blue marble, swirling with clouds, hanging in the black velvet of space. It was a live feed, clear as day. But it wasn't alone. Looming beside it, silent and monolithic, was a sphere. It was massive, dwarfing the International Space Station, casting a shadow that blotted out the stars behind it. It was perfectly, impossibly black, not the black of space, which is filled with faint, distant light. This was an absolute black, a void that seemed to swallow light itself. It had no reflection, no texture, no features, a geometric absolute hanging in orbit, defying every law of physics we thought we knew. The world shattered. Within minutes, every news network on the planet was broadcasting the same terrifying image. Panic was a contagion, spreading faster than the speed of light. We saw the faces of anchors, their professional composure cracking, their voices trembling as they struggled to report the unbelievable. We saw montages of chaos, military jets streaking across the sky, scrambling to meet an unknown entity. Global landmarks, the Eiffel Tower, the pyramids, the Statue of Liberty, bathed in the stark, urgent glow of emergency floodlights. Cities fell into a terrified hush. Humanity, for the first time in its fractured history, was united. United in pure abject terror. What was it? Where did it come from? The questions were on billions of lips, whispered in every language, but there were no answers. Governments were silent. Scientists were baffled. It just hung there, a silent, dark god in our sky, watching, waiting. The silence from the object was more terrifying than any threat. It was the silence of a predator, calm and certain, the silence of a power so vast, we were beneath its notice. For hours, the world held its breath. We watched the screens, our own reflections staring back at us from the abyss on the feed. Then, as the Earth completed another rotation, something happened. Our cameras, pushed to their absolute limits, zoomed in, an extreme close-up on the sphere's featureless surface. Nothing but a perfect, non-reflective curve of black. For a split second, a single, impossibly thin line of light appeared. It wasn't a reflection. It etched itself onto the surface, a brilliant white scar of perfect geometry. It traced a complex pattern, too quick for the eye to follow, before vanishing as suddenly as it appeared. It was a key, a seam, a door, the sphere, the void, the silent God in our sky. It was beginning to open. The story of humanity, the one we had been writing for millennia, had just come to an end. And now, a new one was about to begin. We looked to the heavens for answers, and the heavens have answered. The only question is, what was the question? Thank you for watching. If you want to see what happens next, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We're just getting started.